is August 11th, Friday. It's about 10 minutes to 7 in the morning. I'm in a hotel room next to the Columbia River on the north side of Portland, Oregon. And the musing this morning, it's been quite a couple months. My father going through the procedures that he's gone through. And there's this nascent creation, it seems, coming through me, this adventure company. And I'm out on an adventure at the moment. Didn't know where I was going to be, exactly what I was going to do, just had a vector, had a direction. And I pay really close attention anymore to the intuitive sense. I set an intention very explicitly. Let's see. I think I started doing that. I think I started writing that intention on a daily basis in 2019, the last part of 2019. Maybe before that, but for sure by then. Which means that that intention has felt a regular cadence for a regular explicit cadence for coming up on 4 years now, at least. And this morning, lying in the dark in a strange place, the mind starts to wander and try to solve the problems, anticipate what's going to happen in the day. And I think that's really an extension of the body, the extension of the center of consciousness, I suppose. I seem to reliably inhabit this particular body, even as consciousness comes and goes from it on a daily basis. So as consciousness becomes focused, so that implies to me that consciousness becomes increasingly diffuse and then vaporizes, so to speak, as I drift into unconsciousness, as I, whoever I am, drift into unconsciousness and sleep. The body sleeps, the body rests. And then it begins to return, which seems like something like a point in the formation. So what I see quite literally in my mind's eye as I speak that, as I observe that now, is the effect of gravity on space dust as it forms celestial bodies. There's a gravitational thing that happens, and then at some point there's an event. I don't know. The event for me is that I come to what I've come to call waking state consciousness. It happened about 4 o'clock this morning. And the activity present in that consciousness the character of it, it's not one character. It's not one character. There's a division then that occurs in the, I'll say, types or categories of thought. And when I say that, it reminds me of a particular passage by a Swedish woman on yoga, the architecture of peace, where she talks about the different types of thinking, and she talks about planning specifically, and that's what it feels like the mind was doing this morning. It was trying to plan the day. It was trying to, which is a weird thing to say, it was trying to anticipate where the body's going to be tonight. And working out all of the steps in between. And she says, I wish I knew her name. She says, she's a yogi, and she says, it's been helpful for her to stop that type of thinking. But she says you must do a certain amount of planning. And she promotes or suggests that there's also, so this is the other type of thought. The first bifurcation of thought, if I'm going to categorize the character of the thought the thoughts that occur to me, I'll say, one character is that. The other character, she uses the word contemplative. And she talks about it taking you further into the field, further into the adventure, something like that. Anyway, that's what's going on this morning. And then I think I'll say a little bit about wits. So somehow I was taught to say things like, keep your wits about you. And wits, to me, in my mind's eye, appear as like fireflies. These glowing wits about me. Like this cloud of angels or little critters that are moving through creation around the focal point, the center of consciousness, the focal point of this localized awareness. And I found myself yesterday visiting with Dad in the hospital, and I was telling him about, well, I'm gonna head south down, Interstate 5, and I'm gonna be on the motorcycle. And he's another grand adventurer for sure. And he's taught me how to manage risk. Because you don't know. That's adventure by definition. You don't know what you're gonna encounter. So you better have your wits about you. So if you're watching this, I also think about the characters, the real people in my life that keep the center, the focal point of consciousness over here anyway. Keep it not exactly tethered, but there's a tension between all of you. We're at this center point. And you are my wits. The wits about me. And it occurs to me that, so this also occurred to me this morning. I had a teacher, so one of the goals that I put down, there's this writing exercise that I've done, it's prompted, and it says, imagine your best future because you go where you look, so where the mind's eye goes, that's where you end up. That's what you pass through, that particular reality. That seems self-evident to me. So the writing exercise is to get the mind to focus on, where do I want to go? Imagine the best possible future for this body, this person, this life. How does it go? What's the best way? And in that exercise, it says, talk about your friends. What's your social life like? And I define my friends as above average intelligence. And then I shared that with a yoga teacher, that writing. And she said, why? Why do you need your friends to be above average intelligence? And there's good reasons to have friends with above average intelligence, but with respect to the wits, which I think of as kind of an extension of the mind, so to speak, maybe of the brain, I don't need my wits to be particularly intelligent. It's helpful if they are. What I really need them to be and to do is to be honest, to tell me the truth of reality as they see it. Those are the ones that I want about me. If they're intelligent, great. If they're not, if they're honest, it's very helpful. Love you guys.